everybody, Luxinda Swirl here. A while back, I made this tumbler, and I can link to that video below if you're curious. This was done with double-sided tape and glitter, a lot of sighing, pulling my hair out, and cursing. Well, I don't think the cursing made it onto the video, but I was certainly thinking nasty thoughts. It was a lot of work and a lot of trouble. So I did this, and it's okay. I don't ever want to make one again. Although I suppose if somebody threw enough money at me, I'd try it. But here is another way to get a similar effect. Let's take a look at a cup I made yesterday. And here it is. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if the sparkles are coming through. They should be. It's absolutely gorgeous and sparkly and glittery and gold and really beautiful. Let me see if I can get more sparkles to show by turning on. I think somebody said if you turn on the light here on the phone when you're recording, it picks up sparkles better. I don't know if this is true or not. Anyway, this is a beautiful tumbler. It was much easier to make because I did it with washi tape. Yes, folks, this is a washi tape tumbler. And I wondered if we could give this a try. I wish you could see it sparkle. It's gorgeous. I haven't put a decal on it yet. This is just the first step. I put the tape on it and I put a layer of epoxy on it, and now I would put a decal if I were going to put somebody's name or a saying or a picture. This is when it would go on, and then there would be another final layer of epoxy over top of that. But let's go back to the beginning and I'll show you how I made this. Hey folks, we're back. I am going to start working on this washi tumbler. That is going to be the same thing, only completely different colors than the last one. These are all reflections, not all, these are all reflections washi tapes from Michaels. They came in one set. This is where I got most of the sparklies, in fact all of the sparklies that I used in the tumbler I showed you already. I used these. And in this one, I'm going to use basically the other half of the set. This is glitter tape Recollections. It's basically washi tape. They had a 50% off all Recollections washi tapes not too long ago, so I picked these up. Also, at the same time, also Recollections from Michaels. I picked up some other designs. So one of this set is going to be added to this as an accent. And then this was from a company called Joggles, JOGGLES.com. I buy a lot of my inks from them, alcohol ink and marbling paints, because they have great prices. I'll link to them below, but for a while they were celebrating their 15th anniversary, I think, of being in business. And anytime you spent more than $15 with them, they included a free roll of washi tape. And this was the roll I got. And since it's green and I have some greens in here, I'm going to use this as another accent. So I'm going to put that there and that there. And basically I'm just going to repeat this going up the side. I promise I will fast forward as soon as I do the first stripe so that you don't have to watch more than, a few seconds. Because it's just the same thing over and over and over. The trick is to get things straight and to keep them as straight as possible. This is a 20-ounce skinny straight, and that is especially key for this because it has the exact same diameter and circumference at the bottom as it does at the top. There is absolutely no taper. That one I showed you at the very beginning, the one I used double-sided sticky tape, was a 30-ounce skinny like this with a taper, and it just causes some problems. But the straights from, and I get mine from the Craft Haven, I will link to that below as well. So anyway, here we go. I do not start at the very bottom because that would end up kind of curling over the lip there. So I started about a 1/4 inch up. And basically I am going to try and put all of my seams or all of my edge matchings in approximately the same spot going up, and then I'll put a strip of vinyl. You could also use a strip of washi tape, but I have my Cricut cut a strip of vinyl that complements all of this, and it's about a 1/4 inch, and its sole purpose is to cover the seams. Okay, so I am eyeballing it, I admit that. Luckily, because this is a straight, it is relatively easy to do the eyeballing. Hopefully you can see this. And if I'm doing a decent job, these two edges of the tape or ends of the tape should match up when we get back around. And from that point on, you want them to bump. Meaning the next layer is going to sit right up against this layer. And I put a new blade in my X-Acto knife so that I'm basically just feeling for the overlap, and I'm trying to cut right at the overlap. Like that. And there we have it. There's my first strip. And now I'm just going to put this one aside and move on to the next one in my order, which is this one. And now I'm going to shut up and fast forward through the rest, and you'll see how it goes. And that's all there is to a washi tape tumbler. It's really kind of cool. The hardest part seems to be me finding the beginning of the roll. There it is. Okay, here we go. Find the place where the seam is from the last one and just start there, right above it. Butting up to it. There we go. You don't want to overlap. You don't want to have a gap between them. You just want to put them side by side. There we go. What do you think? I think it's gorgeous. You can glitter the tops, you can paint Mod Podge on here and on the bottom rim, and add glitter before you epoxy. I have opted not to. I also haven't been taping these off. I've been just putting epoxy over the clear metal, or the naked metal, which is one reason I didn't sand it in the beginning. To prep this, in the beginning, I washed it with Dawn dish soap and water, and then 91 or 99%, either one, rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, to clean off everything. I did not sand it, however, because I didn't want any scratches to show where the metal's going to remain naked, or just epoxied. Okay, so now it's time for our strip up the middle. Let me get that. This is a gold glitter vinyl, regular adhesive vinyl, not HTV or anything like that. I cut a few strips when I was cutting one for the last washi tape tumbler. I asked it to cut 4, figuring I might do this again. So now basically I do, again, I'm eyeballing, top to bottom to cover up the seams. Press it down. And then use my X-Acto knife to trim it. Okay, now, what I did last time, I was just going to spray seal this using the Rust-Oleum 2X Clear Gloss Spray, or matte. But you know, I noticed that this vinyl strip I put on wasn't sticking all that well to the washi tape. So what I did, and I'll do it again this time, I'm going to let everything set for a little while. Give the washi tape and the vinyl a chance to adhere to all the surfaces it's on. The washi tape to the cup, the vinyl to the washi tape. And then I will do what I've been doing a lot since I got this, which is this is UV resin. I will put a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom to make sure the ends of the vinyl do not lift. And I ended up putting a little bit of UV resin all the way down both sides, and I just used a gloved finger to make sure it was everywhere, just a little bit, and then I stuck it out in the sunshine. And that helps hold the vinyl in place so that there's no lifting. I still spray sealed the rest of the cup with a Rust-Oleum clear spray. I figured it couldn't hurt and it would give the epoxy more to hang on to. And then when I'm done with that, we will meet back in the craft room and put a layer of resin epoxy on this puppy. Stay tuned. Hey folks, we're back. Everything has had plenty of time to sit and adhere, although I noticed the 2 ends of the vinyl have popped up. I've pushed them back down, that's why you can't see it, but it's just another reason why we're gonna do this UV resin phase. So I have my UV resin from Miracle Coup on Amazon. I will link below. This seems to be pretty popular and gets good reviews. I'm gonna put a bead of it there and a bead of it there. And I put some all along here because I want to just tack it all down. And then using a gloved finger, I'm going to spread it along the strip of vinyl and definitely at the top and bottom. Just want to tack everything down, and this will do that. So it won't lift when I go to put the full layer of epoxy resin on. Okay, now I'm gonna stick this out in the sunshine, and after it cures, I will spray the entire cup with Rust-Oleum 2X matte clear spray, just to give the resin something extra to hang on to, and then I'll bring you back for the resin part, the epoxy resin layer, and then the big reveal. Stay tuned. Here it is, folks. Isn't that pretty? Look at the sparkles. Oh, I couldn't be happier. There are a couple bubbles, little imperfections. Those just get sanded off, and then I would put the decal. Here's the vinyl stripe that goes up the back, and I would basically put the decal opposite. So the name would go right here, either up and down if it's a long, hello kitty. So the decal would go right here on the front, sand off the little nubs. There are only a couple. And then a final coat of epoxy to cover everything up, and it's good to go. Thanks everyone. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.